Established in 1991, the Shanghai Star Rubber Products Co., Ltd., a main subsidiary company under the Shanghai Yingye Industrial Corporation, possessing the advanced knowledge of manufacturing inflatable life-saving appliances and equipped with a complete plant for making rubber fabrics, the production lines for life rafts, and the reasonable examining and testing machines as well, is the biggest inflatable life raft manufacturer in China. The company is running effectively under the management system certified by Bureau Veritas Quality International from France for ISO 9001-2000 and certified by the Navy Weapon Agency of People's Liberation Army of China for GJB 9001-A-2001, which assures the various products designed and manufactured in good quality and complying with the updated requirements of SOLAS, IMO, and ISO relatively. A well-organized service net consisting of about 200 CSM authorized service stations with qualified technicians covering the main ports all over the world, and the periodical technical training and exchange are offering the convenient and fast service to our clients. This video demonstration was specially prepared as a supplementary for the service technician to master skill of servicing CSM inflatable life raft effectively. This video information was made according to IMO 76118 recommendation on conditions for the approval of servicing stations for inflatable life raft and the resolutions for SOLAS on the 66th session IMO Maritime Safety Committee, and it combined with the features of CSM inflatable life raft. The demonstrations here are the typical operation of servicing CSM inflatable life raft, and the detailed technical requirements and data for the specific life raft should be referred to the information shown in the service manual, and its service and tests should be done according to the service manual accordingly. As to the workmanship flow for servicing life raft, please refer to the service manual. Item 1. Inspection before servicing. Before servicing, please check up the certificate and identification card first, and inspect the appearance of the life raft as well. Meanwhile, take down its type, serial number, type of the emergency pack, manufacturing date, and latest service date, length of the painter, stowage height, ship's name and the name of register port, and so on carefully. Item 2. Unpacking. Cut off the braking lines and remove away the upper half of the container. Disconnect the activating line from the firing wire of the quick release valve on the cylinder. Remove out the raft from the lower half of the container and put it on the floor. Deploy it with the canopy upward. Loose the connecting nut of the inlet valve and dismount the cylinder with the whole quick release valve on it. Item 3. Working pressure test, WP. It will be convenient to have the raft and its valves inspected when the raft inflated to its form, and also to have the leakage inspection done when abnormal variation of the air pressure found. Inflate the raft with compressed air from the deflation topping up valve of the upper and lower tubes respectively. Take it with a compressed air pipe and connect the special adapter with the pipe and pressure gauge immediately when the raft inflated to its form. Check up the pressure gauge and top up if necessary to adjust and steady the pressure in the raft to its working pressure. Keep the working pressure for 1 hour and check up the pressure gauge. The pressure drop should not be more than 5% of the working pressure. The working pressure test for the floor could be done in the same way because it is the independent air chamber but in different working pressure. However, the pressure drop should not be more than 5% of the working pressure of the floor. Item 4. Inspection of raft body. Take out the emergency pack and various kinds of accessories. Cut off the power of lights. Clean the polluted areas with detergent and fresh water and dry it in the ventilated place. Inspect the whole raft carefully for any wear and tear, aging or degumming, especially at jointed seams and the places between upper and lower tubes, lower tube and floor, and the upper tube and arch tube as well, and inspect the canopy for any sewing broken and mildew. Inspect the connection between the cylinder wrapping cloth and the tube. Inspect all accessories attached to the raft such as reflective tapes, towing patch, boarding soft leather, sea anchor, writing belt, and so on. Inspect the facility for fixing the radar responder. Mark the place to be repaired with chalk. Item 5. Inspection of raft lights. The position indicating light and the inner light will be switched on automatically while the raft inflated to its form. Insert the spare pin to cut off the power. Dismount the lithium cell and check its expiration date. Inspect the wire and the welding point. After completion of the service of the raft, pull out the spare pin and insert the original plug before packing. Item 6. Inspection of accessories and equipments. Take out all accessories and inspect them one by one. Pay attention to the expiration date of the radar reflector and replace it if the remaining valid period is less than 6 months. Unpack the emergency bag and take out all equipments. Inspect them one by one. Replace it if it is damaged or the remaining valid period is less than 6 months. Record the replacement of the equipment seriously. Check all items individually according to the requirements of rules and the service manual, and pack all of them into the plastic bag as per the guidance indicated in the service manual. Then vacuum the plastic bag and finally close the emergency bag and have it lid sealed. Item 7. Inspection of container. Inspect the container for any crack and damage. Inspect the edges of upper and lower half of the container and the rubber seal as well. Inspect the inner liner of the container. Item 8. Inspection of painter. Inspect the painter and the activating line for any mildew or damage. Inspect the connection of the painter with the activating line. Item 9. Inspection of cylinder. Secure the cylinder on the table vise and dismount the upper part of the quick release valve by the special tool. Check the marks on the cylinder and record the data. Check the weight of the cylinder by an electronic weigher. It should be refilled if the reduction of the weight exceeds the requirement shown in the service manual. Item 10. Inspection of quick release valve. Dismount the upper part of the quick release valve. Take out the firing pin and spring from the lower part of the valve and dismount the valve core by the special tool. Check them one by one carefully. Reassemble them if they are in good condition. Take out the red safety cap from the upper part of the valve and pull out the firing wire to release the impact hammer. The upper part of the valve has to be replaced in case of the impact hammer could not be released smoothly. Reset the impact hammer by the special tool and insert the firing wire. Screw off the tool to recover the impact hammer in its original position and fix the firing wire. Repeat above process and replace the upper part of the valve if such reset failed. Install the qualified upper part of the valve onto the lower part of the valve on the cylinder. Item 11. Inspection of inlet valves. The inlet valves are located on the tubes near the cylinder. Screw off the upper part of the inlet valve and take out the spring, seal gasket, valve core and seal ring. Check them one by one. Reassemble the inlet valve after the inspection. Item 12. Inspection of safety valve. The safety valves are provided on the upper and lower tubes. The setting value of the safety valve could be reset by a screwdriver. It will be higher if turn clockwise the valve core, and it will be lower on the contrary. Replace the valve core or spring when such reset failed. Item 13. Inspection of non-return pressure limited valve and a non-return valve. A non-return pressure limited valve is provided between the boarding ramp and the lower tube. Its setting value could be adjusted by a screwdriver when the cover of the deflation valve on the boarding ramp opened. It will be higher if adjusted clockwise and be lower if adjusted counterclockwise. Replace the valve core if such adjustments failed. The function of the non-return pressure limited valve can be easily verified by the fact that the boarding ramp will keep its form when the deflation valve on the lower tube opened. There is a non-return valve provided between the arch tube and the upper tube. The fact that the arch tube will not collapse when the deflation valve on the upper tube opened will prove that the valve works properly. Item 14. Inspection of deflation valve and deflation topping up valve. The deflation valve and the deflation topping up valve on the raft are clearly marked. Screw off the bolt to check the rubber gasket. Item 15. Repairing of raft body. The repairing should be carried out inside the door at the ambient temperature of 15 to 30 degrees centigrade and the relative humidity of not more than 75%. Normally, it could be repaired only at outside of the raft for the damage smaller than 5 centimeters, and it should be repaired at both inside and outside for the damage larger than 5 centimeters. However, the raft should be condemned if the size of the repair patch has to be larger than 150 square centimeters. Clean the place to be repaired and the rubber fabric patch with a gasoline of number 120. The size of the patch should be about 3 centimeters over the damage in all directions. Roughen the place to be repaired and the patch, and clean both with the gasoline again. Brush the rubber mucilage evenly on the roughened place and the patch, then expose them in the air for about 10 to 12 minutes and brush the mucilage once more. Expose them again in the air for about 10 minutes to have the solvent volatilized and put the patch on the place to be repaired. Press the patch firmly by the roller and make sure no edge lifting. The adhesive of the residual mucilage could be eliminated by the talcum powder. The raft can only be inflated to its working pressure for checking after it being placed for 24 hours to ensure its natural vulcanizing. The same way as mentioned above could be used for the repair in both sides, and do the inside repair